Hello and welcome to a huge boxing featuring this fragile do not crush tape on all the sides, coming all the way from overseas from the PS Publishing Towers. This is a box of clearance titles, because I'm all about them savings, from pspublishing2.com. So big that it doesn't even fit in the frame. So I apologize on that. We're gonna I could zoom out, but the camera quality gets a little cranky when I zoom out too much. So we're just gonna get into the box pretty quickly and then, show you the small titles within. I bought a lot. So pspublishing2.com is like the clearance or overstock site for PS Publishing. And they put some dinged copies on there. They put a lot of good titles, or like PC, presentation copies, or publisher copies. And this was like Good Friday, I think. They had listed a bunch of titles on there. And I was all over it, because you know what? I like some good deals. I like PS Publishing. They do a good job to begin with. And when the titles are cheap, I am even more intrigued. So, as you can see, they kind of come in little parcels within the packaging, which is great. I used to buy a ton, because they used to have a bunch of titles on their little second site there. It's a little bit more affordable than their main site. And so we're going to see how the titles come out. Up first here we have the Best of T.M. Wright, which is T.M. Wright, edited by Stephen Seville. Has a little bonus volume called Malum Cross. One thing that's really nice about PS Publishing that I absolutely love is some people love it or hate it. I love it. And it's these nice little illustrated slipcases. Very nice. We'll get to him in a second. Stay over there. They're always the same size. Well, usually some go a little bit larger. But it's nice little illustrated slipcases throughout. And so they look nice next to each other. So we have the Best of T.M. Wright. One thing that they also do is that their covers are usually identical. It's kind of got like that library binding. I don't really know what the name of this kind of binding is. It's not cloth. It's very much, kind of like you would see with like a library book, or when you were like in school and they would give you a book of like, here's Dracula, kids. It's kind of the same deal. So I'm going to have like some slight dings, which would be why it's really cheap. It might not even be signed. Who knows? It looks like this one's not signed, which is probably why it's on the site. Unless the second volume is the one that's signed. I don't know. Sometimes they do weird things. Anyways, PS Publishing. They're, smaller font, but a good, decent margin size. A lot of people aren't really big fans of them compared to, Subterranean Press or Cemetery Dance, which I can understand. They kind of go with more affordable material, but it's still very nice volumes. Very nice indeed. See, there's the cover, which is just the cover, the dust jacket without text. And this might be one of those titles. It is. This is one of those titles where it's the bonus volume that is signed. Signed by Stephen Seville. I am not as familiar with T.M. Wright. But you know what? This was cheap and affordable. And if I'm going to start with some T.M. Wright, I might as well get the best of his writings. And what better way of getting the best of T.M. Wright than getting the best of T.M. Wright? Anyways, just cheap, affordable. I think copies are still available on PS Publishing, or PS2, Publishing 2. Up next, some sci-fi titles by Eric Brown. The illustrations of this slipcase is Eric Brown and his dog. Not really anything on the back. Most people know PS Publishing through their work with Stephen King. They've done through all of his Doubleday years, except for The Shining, probably because there's a million copies of The Shining out there. This is The Disciples of Apollo. The best short stories of Eric Brown, as I ramble about Stephen King. They recently did The Dead Zone. They announced they're doing Cujo, and Needful Things is next. Signed by Eric Brown. This is an unnumbered copy. PS Publishing does a lot of small runs. Like this is only 100 copies. And they take a lot of chances. Like they do a lot of authors that you may never have heard of, which is always a very nice treat, especially when you find an author that you love. Claire North is one such author. I absolutely love Claire North. What I read when I got the 12 Lives of August. God. See, the problem is my brain is shot at the end of this day, and I don't think it's called, I think it's the 15 Lives of August, but now I'm wanting to incorporate the 10,000 Doors of January into it, and it's a mess, even though that's Alex Harrow. Yeah, my brain's just shot, so I apologize. But anyways, Claire North. Her book I read a few years back. It was really good. Anyways, this next set is actually a 3-copy paperback set. This is We All Hear Stories in the Dark. Now, this is actually going to be, I'm not going to go into too much details with this one, because I actually have another copy of this in the same box that I'm going to show for you. This is a collection of 101, I believe, 101 short stories by Robert Shearman. And it kind of sounded like to a degree, kind of like a choose-your-own-adventure, if that makes sense. It's not really a choose-your-own-adventure, but you can read it in a certain order. Yeah, so there's 101 stories to tell. And it is like a choose-your-own-adventure, yeah. So, if you want to go this one, go to this story. Interesting. And I heard you could read this in, thousands of ways. And it has gotten absolute praise. Like the numbered edition sold out. And they said, you know what? We're going to release a hardcover edition that's not the numbered edition. And that sold out. And it's 3 different volumes. And so I actually also got the numbered edition through PS Publishing. Through PS Publishing 2, I should say. Their clearance site. So it's probably a PC copy or a dinged copy. And I said, you know what? I want this numbered edition. Sounds awesome. But I also want a reading copy. So they had this cheap, affordable set of paperbacks, which I believe are Drugstore Indian, which is their paperback offshoot for PS Publishing. They've done a lot of Ramsey Campbell. I cannot recommend them enough. Those are really cheap and affordable. Speaking of the bad boy, here's that numbered set. We All Hear Stories in the Dark. The Choose Your Own Adventure Horror Anthology by Robert Shearman. Now, I don't know that I'm going to get the piece here. This one's not an illustrated slipcase, but it does have kind of a leatherette slipcase, which is very nice. Kind of to go along with the complete rhinoceros. Which, when I say it out loud, it sounds like a really goofy title. That also came from PS Publishing 2 last year. Anyways, I don't know if this set's going to have it, but the numbered editions, which were limited to 101 copies, if I recall. This leatherette slipcase. It's got the PS Publishing logo on the spine there. And it's got a nice little bust there. Each of the numbered editions had a fraction of a story. I guess it would be the 102nd story. Each one was like a handwritten part of a story. I believe we're going to find out for ourselves if I have one such edition. And, ooh, I think I do. Oh my god, that's so cool. So, this is a nice little envelope. And inside the envelope, this is section number 5, a unique extract from the Miasmic Undeaths of Ernest Trudge. The author has made one single handwritten copy of this story and divided into 101 segments of exactly 101 words each. To access the complete story, email ernesttrudge101@aol.com with a photograph of your extract. I apologize, I'm not going to show this on camera. Oh my god. That is cool. Yeah, I would love to show you this right now, but given that you need to email the story to them, I don't want to get in trouble with the powers that be by showing you a picture of it. But yeah, it's like it's a little card, yay big, with a handwritten fraction on the back. That is too goddamn cool. Oh my god. I figured this was going to be a PC copy, so I didn't think that I would actually get a fraction of the story. I wonder if that's going to be my number. I wonder if I'm at number 5 then. That is, wow. That was a pretty unexciting moment in the video because you were just staring at the books on the floor as I kind of geeked out over it. But it's kind of got that perfect bound kind of library. I don't know, like a library kind of binding is all I can think of. It is number 5. Wow. Okay. So it's signed by Robert Shearman, Reggie Oliver, Angela Slatter, Michael Marshall Smith, Lisa Tuttle, and Stephen Moffat. This is number 5. Wow. That is too cool. And I could tell it's got little illustrations throughout where you would choose the next part of your story. And I'm too nervous to read this exact copy, which is why I have the paperback copies as well. So each of those names were kind of illustrators for each of the volumes. Not illustrators. Introducers. Introductors? I can't speak English. People introducing the volumes. So like Michael Marshall Smith introduced this one. Reggie Oliver did the little illustrations. Lisa Tuttle introduced the next volume. But wow, that is too cool. Very proud to have this in my little library. I have a lot of random PS Publishing books from their secondary site, and I have no regrets about that. Slow hand clap for the Moronic Horde. I love that title. Anyways, I'm going to read the hell out of this. Well, probably not this one. Probably the paperback copy. Because I'm paranoid and don't want to damage the hardcover copy. And we're going to put this guy right back in there. I'm sorry for not showing you that. I mean, the part of being a YouTube channel is kind of show and tell. But I feel obliged to not show you that. I'll show you the outside of it, but I can't show you the actual part of the story. Anyways, back on track with the unboxing. Excuse me. I don't have coronavirus. I'm just talking for too much. Going on 12 minutes. Going on 13 minutes. This one, wow, these are actually the same size. I thought these were going to be oversized. This, I think, is also sold out on the PS Publishing 2, is the PS book of Fantastic Fictioneers, A History of the Incredible, by Pete Von Sholly. Now this one, it's like a shot in the dark. It's a reference book. It's a beautiful reference book, but it's a reference book. There is the slipcased edition. The slipcase edition is like the numbered one. And I took a complete shot in the dark because there was a slipcased edition available on their second site, and it sold out immediately. I didn't get a chance to grab it, which is a shame because I'm a sucker for those illustrated slipcases. So this is Ackerman to Jackson. So then this became available again later in the day. Is it a cut? I don't know what that is. Maybe it's just part of the cover. It became available later in the day, and it didn't say signed edition or have the slipcase in the description, but had the slipcase in the image. So I took a jump at it and said, you know what? It was really cheap. If it ends up being the slipcase edition, holy crap, I'm gonna just freak out on video that I managed to snag this beautiful slipcase edition. It ended up not being the slipcase edition. They revised the photo later for just the 2 edition set like this, which I'm still gonna kind of geek out on camera. Oh my God, Terry Gilliam. We got, let's see here. Got some Bradbury, some Asimov, Harlan Ellison, H.P. Lovecraft, Stephen King, of course. Yeah, very nice. So this is full color. So there's Bradbury. A reference, Carl Barks, to all these fantastic Fictioneers. And it's a really cool reference set. It's hefty too. Charles Fort. Like, there is heft to this thing. I don't know why the ribbon marker, maybe it's cut. It is cut. Ah! I found the defect. Yes. I see why it's on that site now. Haha. Oh well, that's fine. It was an incredible value. There's the ribbon marker. Just beautiful work. So if you manage to snag a slipcase edition, that's awesome. I'm jealous. Not jealous enough to actually be able to swing for the full price of the slipcase edition. Pete Von Shelley's very intriguing Jerry Garcia looking photo there. But this goes from James to Wood, but not James Woods. So there we go. Just beautiful quality throughout. George Romero! So it's obviously not just all fiction in terms of novels. Alan Moore got a lot of Bela Lugosi. Bela Lugosi goes into film as well. Stan Lee with comics. Just one hell of a hefty volume. Seriously, this has got some weight to it. I know the individual copies are still available. Like I said, the set is sold out. The set is signed by Pete Von Sholly. I'm not heartbroken. I mean, it'd be cool to get the set. It would have been cool, especially if I had managed to snag that clearance one. But you know what? I'll take the books themselves for the clearance value because I'm going to get my mileage out of these babies. But it kind of shocks me that they're very much the regular size of PS Publishing titles. I thought these two were going to be oversized just based on the photos alone. I'm like, you can't pack all that in a small volume. And the answer is yes, you can. Oh, can't show you that photo on YouTube. Yes, you can. Ramsey Campbell. James Cameron, apparently, as well. Ramsey Campbell has a lot of books published by PS Publishing. Does the second one have a ribbon marker? Oh, it does. Oh, well, so sad. Anyways, very cheap value, going on 17 minutes. I don't believe these clearance sets are available still, but you can probably get the sets through the site itself. Either way, holy hell, it's a lot of bang for your buck. That's a lot of titles. Seriously, look at all that. And it was all cheap. And it was cheaper than your average Subterranean Press or Suntop edition. How about that? So seriously, check out pspublishing2.com or pspublishing.co.uk if you want the original titles directly from the source. Especially if you want to get the Stephen King ones. Those are bound to sell out. But damn, they put some beautiful work into their books. They're more cheap and affordable, as I said, than than Subterranean Press, Cemetery Dance, Centipede Press. These are definitely a lot more affordable, but they're not necessarily bargain books. They actually still feel like decent books for your collection, especially with the smaller trim size. But still, just all around beauty. So anyways, thank you for watching. Be sure to check them out, and we'll see you next time.